Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dawson from Dawson Speak TV. I hope everybody is doing good. Thank you for everybody who's commented, everybody who's rated, who's subscribed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I want to do this story right here. This young lady right here, Yasmin Elder, she's 24 years old. She got into a fight with her boyfriend, Darius Ellis, who was 26, while sitting in a van early Monday morning. She wrestled with Darius Elders and forced him to lie on his back, then poured bleach on him, and some of it went down his throat.
Such disturbing details emerged tonight in a shocking murder case. Yasmin Elder is charged with first-degree murder. She's accused of pinning her boyfriend down and forcing him to drink bleach. The victim's sister talked exclusively with Fox 32 News. Our Craig Wall is live outside the Cook County Jail tonight, where Elder is being held on bail. Craig.
Yeah, John, this has really stunned the family of Darius Ellis. They cannot believe that he was murdered, but they're also even more stunned by the vicious way in which it happened. Now they're seeking justice, and they're trying to figure out how to break the news to his 5-year-old son.
Just painful. One of the worst things that ever happened to me, period.
Amber Ellis is in mourning after the bleach poisoning death of her brother, 26-year-old Darius Ellis. Prosecutors say he was in his van parked near 65th and Bishop when he got into an argument with his girlfriend, 24-year-old Yasmin Elder. She is accused of grabbing Ellis by his dreadlocks and then pinning him on the floor between the seats with her knee. The two then struggled over a bottle of bleach.
The defendant then was able to gain control of the bottle. The defendant then poured the bleach on the victim's face, dousing him and causing the bleach to go down his throat.
Prosecutors say Ellis was 5'7" and weighed 130 pounds. His girlfriend, 5'3", 207. After the attack, Ellis drove to a friend's house nearby where he collapsed and started foaming at the mouth. Before he died, he told the friend Elder was the one responsible. Prosecutors said Elder was later confronted by one of Ellis's relatives.
The defendant admitted to the witness to pouring bleach on the victim and then laughed at the witness as she was informed of the victim's condition and that the victim might die.
Amber Ellis said her brother was the kind of guy who made everybody's day better. Now she's worried about what the future holds for his 5-year-old son, Tony.
He really doesn't know exactly what's going on. He's actually asking for him as we speak. He just wants his father back so he can get piggyback rides and that partner to play the game. And it's just heartbreaking because it's like, what am I to tell him?
Prosecutors say when Elder was arrested, she had a bleach burn on her hand. Today, a judge ordered her held on $1 million bail.
Now, when I heard this story, I was like, well, how did he manage not to push her, just knock her out or whatnot? And, I guess by her just dousing the bleach on him, some of it went, obviously it did go down his throat. And then, one of the doctors came on television and some people were explaining that it only takes for a person his size. I think he was 5'7". They were saying that it only takes about 8 ounces of bleach for it just to mess up his stomach and basically to kill him. And, that's a horrible thing that happened. And, definitely this lady she has been arrested and she is charged with murder, first-degree murder. And I think they said her bail was set at $1 million. But I want to talk about relationships for a minute and how not to get so invested in a person. I don't care if you've been with them a month or a year or years. People have their choices in life. And sometimes people choose not to stay in a relationship. Sometimes people choose to go. It don't matter how good you treat them. It don't matter how good the sex is. It don't matter how much money you make, what degrees you have, what kind of status you have in the world. People have choices. Now, when I was looking at this story right here, it says that Yasmin and Darius were only together for a month. Now, I want to say this. If you are in a relationship with somebody, and sometimes we can see these signs before we get into a relationship or even start dating people, you can kind of tell when a person is needy, when they got low self-esteem, when they're very clingy, when they're kind of grasping onto you like, they're just kind of not grasping, but holding on to you for dear life. Like, you're their everything. And you're like, wait a minute, let me breathe. Come on. It kind of, some people like that, that kind of like, oh, they like me. They really into me. But you got to be careful with that, because some people got low self-esteem. They really have nothing going for themselves in life. And then you happen to come into their life and they put all of their trust, everything on you, their life basically in your hand. And when I look at this story, and I read this story, and I saw some of the news clips, I heard some of his family speak, that seems to me what this young lady did. It seems like she had low self-esteem. She had some issues in her life that when she got this man, and they say she found out that he was cheating, or maybe he wasn't really serious into this month relationship. And who could blame it? It's only been a month. And it's like, how do you let yourself go down so low, Yasmin, to the point where you just give up everything for a man? And the vice versa, if it was a man for a woman. How do people let themselves get so low to somebody can just make you go so crazy? And I know people say love is blind and it takes over your mind and make you do crazy things. All that stuff we hear, yeah, it kind of gets you. But at the same time, you need to get yourself. You need to have some sort of strong self-esteem, self-worth, self-value, that that if somebody leaves you, you still gonna be okay. Yeah, you might cry, you might hurt, but at the end of the day, you might stay in bed, for a couple of days or maybe a week or so. But at the end of the day, life goes on. You can't be so invested and wrap your entire life around one person that if that person leaves you, if that person, dies, if something happens that they're not there anymore, that you're about to lose your mind. And it's just sad, their situation, but I would never, ever get into a relationship with somebody like that. Somebody who's clingy, somebody who like, oh, I just need you. Oh, if it don't happen, or we're going to do all this. Come on, man, get a fucking life. You need to have a life outside of your relationship. A man don't complete you. A woman don't complete you. You're 50-50 and I'm 50-50. No, I'm coming 100-100 and you need to come 100-100. And that is not, we see so much of this going on in social media now, where people are killing themselves on social media because of relationships. People are killing other people, then killing themselves, murder, suicide. And everybody, it's just like, we see this stuff and it's just like, well, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. And I think what's missing that a lot of people are not talking about, that we take for granted and say, well, people should know. A lot of people really don't know how to just be okay with yourself. Even if you don't have anybody, I'm still okay. Don't be pressured to be in no relationship. And if you get into a relationship with somebody and you see that they're clingy, like Darius, if it was a month, you should have told her, look, hey, this a month. Come on now. You giving me too much. You can't give me that much. It's only been a month. We don't even know each other. We still, a month to me, it's like we still getting over pleasantries. Like, come on, you really trying to be all married up and booed up in a month? I mean, of course, people have one night stands and stuff, but still, come on, man. And when I see this, it's just it's sad for him, but I know we can learn from everybody's mistakes. And I just want the people who are subscribed to my show, who listen to what I say, to understand this. Before you get in a relationship, before you get with anybody, before you go throwing all your wants and cares onto them and wanting them to be what you want them to be and all this stuff that you have in your mind that you are fixated on, be that for yourself first. Because if they leave you, if they die, you're going to always have you. And sometimes we're getting with people out of desperation, like this young lady, I think she was getting with people out of desperation and not fully knowing who that person is. And, it reminded me when I was reading this story, one of my homeboys who is going through some relationship problems himself, we were somewhere and he was trying to hook me up with somebody. And I was like, no. Because, I was just like, no. And that ain't going to happen. No, don't do that. Because I know me. I know I'm not ready for it to be settled down. I know how I am. So no, don't do that. And then I told my homeboy, I'm like, bro, don't do that, because I'm not like you. I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody, then have to go around and, date here and cheat. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because I think when you tell people up front, no, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you, I'm not going to live the fantasy that you have in your head on how a relationship should be, based on just to make you happy. And that's our thing. We're trying to be everything for everybody else instead of being it for yourself. If you know you're a whore, just be a whore. That's what you are. If you know you're going to sleep around, don't go marry people to make mama happy and grandma happy and the church happy and all these other. Are you serious? You got to sleep with that person. You got to be committed to them. We don't. Don't do that. Like that's just my whole thing on this whole murder, suicide, relationship stuff. Getting mad because people decide they don't want to be with you. Get a fucking life. Get some self-esteem. Get some self-worth. Get some self-value. I mean, people these days, they put up a front, but behind that front, they ain't got shit. They ain't got no self-worth. They gonna break down easy. They ready to kill themselves over a motherfucker. No, get to know yourself before you get with somebody. And if they leave, you know, if the relationship crack, you not gonna crack. It's your boy Dawson. That's all I want to talk about on this issue. I love y'all. I thank y'all for listening, for rating, commenting, and subscribing. But beyond that, I want y'all to have a good relationship with y'all self. So if you get in a relationship where a person acting stupid, you can leave without any problems. Till then, I'm your boy Dawson.